All right, welcome into Market Day Report. I am Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in here today. If you've got us on in the shop, the barn, wherever, the office, I'm glad you have us with you. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on today in these markets, because the markets are going to be your money, isn't it? Right? Let's take a look at corn. Corn board is lower, 1 3/4 cents lower. We made a new low of 4.39. We're at 4.40 3/4 right now, which is a penny and 3/4 off of that low, and we're about what 3.5 cents off the highs. So right now, still kind of quiet. Just ticked a little bit lower, but no big deal. Dees, that's off 3/4 cents to 4.61 1/4. And again, that's about a penny and a half off the low of the day, and we're only about, what, 3 cents off the highs. We've had a pretty tight range. That's corn, off about a penny across the board. Let's go to the soybeans, see what's going on there. We got a little bit of a rally here, folks. We're at 10 higher right now in July. 11.89 is last, and that's 2 3/4 cents off the high of the day. That's not bad, right? And we're about what? Okay, 12 cents off the lows. So that's a good board for beans, right? We've got a little bit of strength there. We've got a no board that's up 2 1/4 cents to 11.58 1/4, and that's well off the lows by almost 7 cents. And we're about 6.5 cents off the highs. So we're anywhere between 2 cents higher to 10.5 cents higher. Most of the gains coming up front. Let's move on from soybeans to the wheat market. This is going to be Chicago wheat. It's off 9.5 cents up front. That's July. 6.48 3/4 is last. 6 cents off a low. That's not bad, right? But 16 cents from the highs. All right. So we've had a decent range over there, and you can see by where we're trading in it, we're kind of heavy. Dees wheat in Chicago. That's down 9 cents. 6.96 3/4 is last there. That's wheat in Chicago. Let's go from Chicago to Kansas City and see that we've got a 10 1/4 cent lower board there in July. 6.77 is last. 3.5 cents off the low of the day. And 16, almost 17 cents off the high. Dees, that's down 10 1/4 cents to 7.11, and again, that's 3 1/4 cents off the low of the day, and about 16.5 cents off the highs. There you go. That's hard red in Kansas City. The spring wheat, Minneapolis, that too is lower by 8 1/4 cents in July. 7.15 1/4 is last, 3 cents off the low, 14 1/4 cents off the high. Spring wheat in Minneapolis. Let's go to the cotton. We'll get to our next guest analyst. That's 147 points better in the cotton. That July contract stands at 74.95. Dees, that's up 43 points to 73.94. All right, let's bring him in. It's Mr. Tony Headrick. He's with CHS. Tony, thanks for being on the show. All right, what are your thoughts here? Not a lot going on, but maybe some interesting stuff. What do you see?
Well, there's been some interesting movement in energy over the course of the last several days. We've certainly been really focused in on what OPEC did on Sunday with respect to their forward guidance on production. They're suggesting that beginning in October, they're going to start to relinquish or give back some of the more voluntary cuts that they've had in place for a period of time, and so that's really impacted the energy complex here up until this point today. And so what was above 80 not too long ago is now into the lower 70s for WTI, and we've seen some pretty decent movement on diesel, gasoline, propane prices as well. And so, perhaps an opportunity to start looking forward a little bit more aggressively to what forward needs could be here this fall and even into next year.
We've already had the bullish card of funds short covering played. Do you worry about a lot of the producers out there hanging their head on a weather rally here? Because it doesn't look like demand's going to be coming around the corner anytime soon. Are we just hoping for something maybe out of that June report or some hot and dry weather to sneak in later on? I mean, is that what we're looking at? And you got about 10 seconds.
Yeah, I certainly think that what had been or what has been a fairly wet start to the season may transition into a view on the heat coming up here. But along with that, we've certainly got some view on what the economic conditions may bring to the overall demand profile for energy here as well.
Yeah, I agree. All right, thanks for that, Tony. We're going to go away, or we're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more livestock right after this.